Welcome to part 14 of the Edwardartsupplyhands series. This part is titled The God of the World of Imagination. A full link to the post written by Edward will be in the description below, as well as his channel. And if you like content like this, like and subscribe for more. Part 14, The God of the World of Imagination. There's only one being here. However, this being fools itself into believing it is two beings, the inner and the outer man. However, there is only one world and one man in that world, and that is the inner man. There is this world, the world of the senses, and there is another world, the world of imagination. There's a man who experiences the world of senses, which we call the outer man. Then there's another man who experiences the world of imagination. We call that man the inner man. Your inner being is he who men call God, a quote by Neville. The outer man sees the limitation and restriction in the world of the senses. The outer man feels he is limited and confined to the facts of life. The outer man goes through life convinced that this is the world of senses is happening to him, not from him. He uses only his five senses to move in this world. So naturally, he feels like a victim and desires to control this world through the means of force, manipulation, and etc. The outer man feels fear that life can throw at him things that he is not prepared for, situations he does not want to encounter. But since he feels powerless, he fears the future. Since he cannot change the past, he guilts himself over it. This is how he is limited. Then there's the inner man who lives in the world of imagination. In this world, he is unlimited and can create what he wishes. He is free beyond measure, and everything that he can conceive of is his. Everything. Not one thing is not his because he is the creator of it. If the inner man wants to walk in a store and take what he wishes without paying, he can also make the cashier wave and smile at him. Everything is permissible in the world of imagination. 1 Corinthians 10-23. Permissible meaning if you want to change something within, you can, and you do not have to ask anyone's permission. If the inner man becomes frightened inside this world or starts to feel guilty and fears a punishment, he can rest assured that he is the one creating all of it. There is no other God, creator in the world of imagination. However, here is where things must be understood. Without understanding this, everything I write or what Neville wrote becomes confusing and meaningless. There is no objective outer man. The outer man is simply an expression of the inner man. The only man that exists is the inner man. There is no objective world of senses. The world of the senses is but the expression of the world of imagination. When the outer man starts to fear his world, or he dislikes his world, it is not the outer man who dislikes it, nor is there something wrong with this outer world. There's only one who dislikes it, and that is the inner man. This is important. Please listen carefully. When the outer man dislikes or fears his world of the senses, it is actually the inner man fooling himself into believing he is the outer man who's fearful of the world of senses, meaning you are never not the inner man. In other words, you are always the inner man. Always. There is no other man. The inner man can convince himself that he is the outer body living in this dangerous world, but he is still the inner man fooling himself into that. So God is the creator. That is why we call him God. Yet if I say, I am God, you think I am saying I, this little body of mine, this limited man, is God. But that is not what I'm saying, and not what Neville is saying. God is the inner man, because the inner man is the creator of everything within it. Just like his outer man dwells in this world of the senses, the inner man dwells in the world of imagination, and he is the creator inside that world. However, you are always living in the world of imagination, and you are always the inner man. When you become fearful of your world, or you dislike what it is showing you, many of us try to change it by forcing a physical change upon it. We move the furniture, so to speak. We just rearrange a few things, thinking that will do, yet only to find ourselves in the same problems again. If you fear something in the United States, you will fear it in Spain if you move there. The rearrangement of the physical world does not change the inner man, the only one there is. So someone wanting to escape their problems moves locations, but who is thinking about moving locations? The mind. The inner man is. There is no other God. The inner man can convince himself that he is this outer man. And let's say this outer man desires respect. So the inner man believes he is the outer man who desires respect, and then decides to get money and buy respect. However, true respect is only found in the world of imagination. It is not bought nor found here in the world of senses. You can buy it for a bit, but they don't really respect you. Take all the money away, and they never respected you. Who? The inner man. Why? Because the inner man who lives in the world of imagination is living there in a position with no respect. So instead of identifying himself back to his inner man, which he always is, the inner man tries to force a change upon this world, not understanding is reflecting himself in all that he is and he has in the world of imagination. Everything is permissible in the world of imagination to the inner man. Who is the God of that world? Everything in the world of imagination already is. I am, who is the inner man, only experiences things in the now, meaning the past or the future is no different sections of time in the world of imagination, but in fact happening now to the inner man. Identify yourself with the inner man who lives in the world of imagination, where all things exist and are possible. You are always the inner man, simply believing you are this little body of limitation. You may, so what? If I identify myself within, and I live in the world of imagination, and do as I please, so what? What does it matter? Because life is reflecting the inner man of what the inner man feels he is and has in that world. And everything here, the clothes you wear, the laptop you type on, the books you read, movies like The Matrix, were only once imagined. All those things existed in that world of imagination where you are God. Also asking the question, what difference does it make if I live in the world of imagination? This question is stupid. You are always living in the world of imagination. You are using imagination to tell me imagination is meaningless. The world of the senses is the expression. So asking that question does not make sense. You are always in the world of imagination, and you are always the inner man living in that world, and you can do what you want in it. And you and I are using that world to believe we are in this limited body. But you can stop identifying yourself with this outer man and go back to feeling or believing that you are this inner man because you always were. Now take this understanding and read Neville again. You are the one within. You are not just this body. You are living in the world of imagination where you need no permission to be, feel, and have what you want. Seated here tonight, You believe you are a man or a woman. You believe you are here, but you are willing to believe you can go beyond what your reason and senses dictate. You do not have to limit your power of the belief to what your reasonable mind dictates. The choice and its limitations are entirely up to you, for all things exist in the human imagination, and it is from your imagination that your belief stems. If you go beyond the dictates of reason, it must be via your imagination. And since all things now exist there, you can at any moment go beyond what your reasons and senses dictate. When you leave here tonight, you can expect to find your home where you left it. You will go to sleep there and believe you will wake up in your bed tomorrow morning. You believe you are clothed right now. I tell you, your capacity to believe is the human imagination, which is the only God. All imagination, you have restricted yourself by the body of sense and reason you wear. Reason says you are in this room, that you have a certain amount of money, and can have no more unless you make a physical effort to get it. But you would wish you had more, wouldn't you? Assume your wish through the sense of feeling. That assumption, subjectively appropriated and believed to be true, is faith. Can you believe in this reality, knowing all things are possible to him who believes? Can you persuade yourself that although your reason and senses deny it, your assumption will make it so? Everything here was once only a desire, believed. This building, the clothes you wear, or the car you drive were first a desire, then believed into being. Yes, I believe there's a man named Neville. He may work for you to aid the fulfillment of your desire if you believe you have it. Many men can and will come to aid you, even without knowing they are doing so, if you believe. You do not have to persuade others to help you. All you need to do is believe you are what you want to be and let the world, which is nothing more than yourself pushed out, go to work to make your assumption possible. I promise you, your desire will be fulfilled, for all things are possible to him who believes. Let us say you would like to be in San Francisco right now, but you don't have the time or the money to make the trip. What do? You ignore the present moment and subjectively appropriate your objective hope by sleeping in San Francisco tonight. As you lie on your bed, look at the world through the eyes of one who is sleeping in San Francisco. You may wake up in the morning to find you are still physically in Los Angeles. But while you slept, changes were taking place which would compel you to make the journey. I tell you, you will always go physically to the subjective state you have appropriated. Remember, all things are possible to him who believes, and with God, all things are possible. Man believes that God created the world and all within it, but he who does not equate God with himself, the believer. But the Bible equates God, the creator of everything, with one who believes. The belief need not be restricted, but can go beyond the evidence of sense and reason. A quote by Neville Goddard from All Things Are Possible, 1969. Who is imagining themselves in San Francisco? The inner man is. So, if as I describe my world, it is related to that point in space, I imagine that I am occupying, then I must be there. I'm not there physically, no, but I am there in my imagination. And my imagination is my real self. And where I go in imagination and make it real, there I shall go in the flesh also. Neville said that imagination, the inner man, is his real self. That means he does not have to pound the idea into his mind. Everything already is so in imagination. Just like everything in this world of the senses, all its limitations already are. When he asked the question, can you believe in this reality? How can you believe in its reality? By identifying yourself with the inner man. For the inner man to believe, he must feel it to be his. And you can do that if you feel yourself to be God in the world within. The truth is, you always have lived in imagination. You always do. When you start worrying, who is worrying and where are you worrying? It is the inner man who is worrying, and he is worrying in the world of imagination. If you understand this, you will see that the inner man, who you always are, is creating a worry in the world of imagination where all things are possible. Yet, yes, it is a complete and stupid waste of time, but it is only a habit. If you lived in a world where all things are possible and you could create anything you want, would you choose to create a situation and then worry about it? No, you would not. You only do because you are identifying yourself with this outer man. Again, I'm not saying this to be mystical nor intelligent. I'm saying this because this is the truth I have found from Neville's work and from experience when I identify myself with the inner man. I have never felt more free. Every day I see how I created a limited world within the limitless world of imagination. When I start to feel afraid or worry, feel pressure that causes me anxiety, I realize that I am the inner man creating that in the world of imagination. Then, knowing I am God in that world, I can reshape and create something new. But I cannot do it if I doubt that I am the inner man, and if I believe I am bound by reason in this world of limitations. Imaginal experiment number 1. Imagine you are in a beautiful field of flowers, and the sun is out, and everything is perfect. Then imagine yourself in a cage. There's no key. You are behind bars, and there's no escape. You want to go outside in that beautiful world, but you can't. Then look at your hands while in the cage, and then just imagine a key in your hand. Then use that key to open the cage. Then understand that you are in the world of imagination, and you are the creator in that world. You can create a beautiful, beautiful scene, but you can also cage yourself with no escape. But you also create the key to free yourself. It is all you. There is no other creator in your mind. This is similar to what Neville wrote in The Power of Awareness. How can this feeling of naturalness be achieved? The secret lies in one word: imagination. For example, this is a very simple illustration. Assume that you are secretly chained to a large, heavy iron bench. You could not possibly run. In fact, you could not even walk. In these circumstances, it would not be natural for you to run. You could not even feel that it was natural for you to run. But you could easily imagine yourself running. In that instance, while your consciousness is filled with your imagined running, you have forgotten that you are bound. In imagination, you are running completely natural. Imaginal experiment number 2. Bring someone in front of you, someone who has not been treating you well. Imagine them telling you that they are sorry for how they have been treating you. Have them tell you how they are going to treat you from now on, and have them ask if you can forgive them. See them treating you beautifully. Forgive them entirely. Then understand that they were only following orders that you gave them in the world of imagination where you are God. They had no choice but to act that way towards you in the world of imagination because of the belief you held of them. They had no choice but to follow the inner man's orders. It's all you. Forgive everyone in the world of imagination, even yourself. It is your world entirely. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe it is the only reason you do not see it. A quote by Neville Goddard. Who already is the one they want to be? The inner man within the world of imagination. I notice that when I fully identify myself with the inner man and I move in the world of imagination, something changes in me. I realize something while I'm in this world of imagination. I have things in it. I can interact with objects. I can hear things I want to hear. I can create what I want. I can walk into a shop and just take what I want and leave without paying, and I can make the owner just smile and wave at me. I can enter worlds, and I can stand in the street and just tell people this is all a dream. I can snap my fingers and make everyone bow to me. I can make myself a pharaoh, and I can make every person a pharaoh as well. I can have someone apologize to who hurt me. I can make someone tell me how they're going to treat me. I can make people stop their movements and change their actions after. I can feel what emotions I want, and I can create from these emotions. I can feel that I have never done a wrong in my life. I can feel that I cannot be punished in my inner world. I can forgive everyone by changing them to what I would like them to be. I can see that I have everything I want because I am the creator. The inner man is the creator, that is God. Everything you, the inner man, experiences in the world imagination is everything you feel you have and are in that world. If you were to give yourself new things and a new concept of self, you would have an entirely different experience in the world of imagination. You can experience what you wish in the world of imagination, but you can only experience self. A quote by Edward. In the world of imagination, what seems to be is to those whom it seems to be. A quote by William Blake. Thank you for listening.